Alright, everybody, here we go. Alright, this is my first video, and I wanted to start like a series where we would basically go through different projects that we can work on that are open source. Because I noticed there's a lot of people that come up to me and ask me like how to get started, what videos to watch. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's no better way to actually, learn and get real world experience and just work on open source. Like that's the closest thing you'll get to like having a software development job is working on open source, because you have to follow guidelines, before you contribute. You have to make pull requests, you have to master several tools with development. But anyways, let's just get started. We're gonna work on a project today called distributed load testing for AWS. I was needing to actually load test for work last week, and we actually ran into some issues. Well, we were looking into like similar solutions. This is a SaaS solution. It's called BlazeMeter, and what it does is it load tests for you. It's in the cloud, and it's actually super expensive. We ended up going at this price, and you better like read this, because see, that's only like 200 tests a year. Like we paid $99 for a month, and that's per year. So divide that by 12. That's how many tests you really get. So you run out of your tokens. We ran out of our tokens within 2 days. So we actually had to switch to something else like K6. So, and that's missing out. That's missing the most important thing, and that's the distributed. K6. I'm just not super fluent in it. So if you're good with K6 and continue doing that, but I wanted to make our own solution, and this thing's pretty awesome once you start looking into it. So let's get looking at this. This is a pretty standard, just serverless architecture. You're gonna see it's just flowing from one service to another, and I pulled that off basically AWS solutions. And if you're ever looking for like just projects to work on and just hone your skills as a DevOps, and just go over to here into solutions and then implementations. Like if there's anything you want to implement, you can get in here. From machine learning to analytics. You name it. But so let's go back to ours. Yeah, whoops. So that's the one we're working on. It's these other guys started it. It's open source. Here's the architecture. You got the front end. So the front end's just gonna be serving from like an S3 bucket. It communicates with API gateway, and from there it's going to execute lambdas, and it's going to build the Docker image that we're going to run, which is Taurus, with our testing script. Get sent down the line through Docker pipeline, Docker Hub, etc. Get sent down, then it goes into like a lambda state machine. We'll look more into that later. I'll go over more specific things once this is running in CloudFormation, because that's going to take a minute to build. So let's go ahead and just get started on this, which is launching the console. And later on, we're gonna, since this is open source, we'll fork down the project and we're gonna have to actually put it into our own S3 bucket. But for now, the main purpose of this first video is really just to get this thing up and going, and then we're actually gonna test it out on this WordPress site that I put up, just to see how it performs. So let's go ahead and just give this a name. I'm gonna give it a random name, so I'm just gonna tear it down as soon as we're finished. So we do test Fargate LB. We do dusting. We could do I don't know. Just Docker Hub secret. Cool. So this is what we're going to need to do real quick. I already did it, but we're going to need to go into Secret Manager, which is an AWS service, basically for storing secrets, so we don't post any API keys into our GitHub or anything really, because hackers are always finding those. It's probably the easiest way to get hacked. So secrets. Man, it's getting late. All right, Docker secret. See, I already made mine. So what we're gonna do is just give it a username and password, and just pass it in like a JSON array. But that's all it really is. Username, password. These are gonna be my Docker secrets that I just pulled from Docker Hub. Again, I'm gonna just delete these. But you can go to, if you don't know how to do that, it's relatively easy. Just go to Docker Hub. Not really a Firefox guy, but I like to use this plugin to manage different sessions. multi-account containers. Highly recommend it. Okay, but yeah, if you don't know how to do that, you just go down here to account settings. I think it's security. Yeah, and I think if you have a free account, you only get one. So I mean, go ahead and just use it and delete it like I've been doing. I just made that a couple minutes ago. So now that we have that, we want this ARN. And I mean, if I assume you're familiar with AWS if you're deploying this, but if not, really no big deal. I just got started really. So just grab the ARN, which is an identifier for the resource. Go back to our stack. Let's just give it that ARN to our secret. Go to next. See, the only thing I think this stack needs to finish is going to be an IAM role. And basically it just needs a CloudFormation role, giving it, permissions to create other resources. If you don't know what CloudFormation is, that's what this entire thing is. I mean, it's similar to Terraform, but essentially just puts it, provisions all your infrastructure for you, which makes it incredibly easy. So you don't have to go into like every dashboard, like secrets and, provision all that stuff. It just does it all programmatically. So cool. I already made a role. So, you can just go into IAM if you need to do that and just create a role real quick. I just passed it permissions for administrator because a huge no-no, but I'm gonna delete this as soon as I'm finished. But yeah, you just go to roles, create role, and then you want to give it the service you're creating it for, which is CloudFormation. Which is CloudFormation down here. I'm not going to actually do it, but you just go to next permissions, and then you should go through all the policies. So you should give it, permission. If it's using S3, just give it, read permissions for S3. If it needs execution, you have to go through every single one and actually define it. But I'm not going to do that. I don't got the time at the moment, but definitely a huge thing to do. But close all these other tabs. Okay, cool. So let's give it that role. And I think then we're about ready to start this. Yeah, there's other options, like you can give it like a SNS, which is simple notification services for AWS. Basically, it will just shoot you an email or a text, giving you the statuses of deployment if it failed or got restarted or whatever. So let's go ahead and try to build this now. Acknowledge that we know it's going to create resources, create stack. Cool. So this is actually your CloudFormation dashboard. And if you didn't want to just click on that button you could just copy the YAML file or the JSON file and upload a template. That's all it is. It's just infrastructure as code. But ours is already deploying, so let's see what it's going to do. We usually want to keep an eye on it because we can see the resource that it's creating at the moment. So far, so good. But also keep an eye on the event log. Like this is going to let you know if it's failing or what's going on. And depending on how we set it up, I think we set it up to just roll back if it fails, but we'll find out. In the next video, we're probably going to do more of that, I guess getting more specific, because we're going to be building it locally first and then pushing it up to an S3 bucket with our modifications. But the documentation for this said it only takes like 20 minutes on your own, so we'll see how quick it is. So far, so good. So I should just, hold off on trying to visit these. But yeah, I was mentioning that earlier. We were using K6 as an alternative, or you could use like JMeter. But there is an option in this to actually put in JMeter scripts. So we'll look more into that after too. Maybe that might have to be a video of its own, is actually using this thing and effectively. Should almost be done though. I might just pause it real quick because it is taking a sec. I'll be right back. Cool. All right, just finished. I only had it paused for like probably 30 seconds. So now that it's finished, let's go back to the CloudFront distribution and actually see if it lets us do anything. It should not be giving us permission errors, that's for sure. Let's try visiting that. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like. I forgot what I put in the name. I think I put it in Dustin. And what was it? I don't have that. Did I even set the password? We'll just see what happens. Nah. Okay, so I'm not actually entirely sure what happened there. So I'm gonna just go to Cognito real quick because that's what's handling our authentication. And you'll see that I actually created our own user pool and all that. So we'll just have to go and edit a couple settings. Manage user pools. Test Fargate load balancer. I don't know why I put load balancer. Oh yeah, ready to go. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna see if I can edit my, I just need to force a password change. So I could just probably do that here though. Users. Oh, I think I just have to go. Stupid. I think I just have to go like confirm that email. Yeah, because it's going to email us the confirmation. I'm pretty sure because it just said waiting for confirmation. Yeah, force change. Cool. So it's going to give us our temporary password. Yeah, sweet. So here it is. It's going to give us our temporary password, which is this, and we're just going to it's going to force change it for us. So this seems pretty cool already. I mean, this is almost like you're paying for it. And we'll talk about pricing too, but the pricing is incredible on this. It's significantly cheaper than any other solution I've found. I mean, even running case 6, because that can get pricey once you start using, EC2s. Then you forget to turn them off. It's a whole new chart of its own. So let's get logged in here. See. Sign in attempt. I didn't like that. I went too quick. Oh my god. Sorry guys, taking forever. Yeah, almost there. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna log in now, and I think it's using like Amplify or something to do the authentication, which is a super easy way to handle authentication on AWS. What? Oh, I have to verify it too. Yep. So it also sends you an email to verify it, which I obviously forgot to do. Choose email. And let me get the code real quick. Can they email all that? Okay. Okay. All right. So this is what the front end looks like. It's pretty cool. It looks very similar to BlazeMeter. I mean, there's actually a lot more complicated. I'd like actually how simple this is to use. So let's go to just start trying to create a test. I actually created a testing server we can test on in EC2. It's just this WordPress blog, but we're gonna break this thing. We'll see how efficient this distributed load tester performs. I keep wanting to say load balancer. I don't know why, but let's go to our EC2s. It's going a little slow now. I need to close some tabs. Just bought this new router today. Okay. Running instances. you can go ahead and try hacking me. I mean, these are going to be gone by the end of the video. So this is my WordPress instance I just created. I'm just going to grab the IP real quick because I'm going to, basically we're going to just put that in where the GET request is. So go back to our dashboard that we have. I'm going to just call this test 1. Testing my WordPress site. Doesn't really matter. So let's go. We can do many as we want. This is what makes it amazing. I mean, it's all going to factor into the cost too. So we'll look at that at the very end. So let's go ahead and ramp it up. Let's start doing. Let's do just one. Let's do ramp up in 2 minutes, and let's do hold for, I don't know, 6 minutes. Not being very specific. That's our endpoint we're gonna reach. Let's just do HTTP or HTTP. I just want to make sure that. Yeah, what am I doing? That's fine. Okay. And like I said, we could even add a lot more HTTP headers, or a payload for more. Like if we need to do authentication or something, we would add in headers, and yeah, we're gonna be doing much more later on once we start using this thing. So let's try running this and see what happens. I'll keep that open in one tab. Let's move you. Let's see what's happening in the background, because I know it's going to be using code build, so it's not CloudFormation anymore, since that's only provisioning. That CloudFormation only provisions the infrastructure, so we're going to want to see what's going on behind the scenes. So let's look at code build, not cloud build. That'd be a better name though. So code build, Jesus, yeah. In later videos, you're going to see I use the AWS CLI way more than the dashboard. I try to avoid this dashboard at all costs. So let's see how this is doing. It failed. So we actually want to see why this failed. This is good. So maybe this could be an issue we report later on. But yeah, I'm not sure why it failed. So let's take a look. Why be bad? Secrets manager secret. Oh, it's a permission error. Okay. So I mean, it's just saying it's having permission errors, provisioning, whatever it needs to do. So let's just go over to IAM, where we originally created our permissions for CloudFormation, and let's see what's going on. Like I said, you really should never be given administrator access, like ever. But for the sake of getting this done, relatively quick, I need to do this. Let's go back. I am. So I'm gonna look up that role that was giving me an error on, which the secrets manager access denied. Okay, so I'm just gonna look up test Fargate and see what's up. What the? I think it was this one, authorize, no, yeah, we gotta go back and look at it. What does it want? Sweet, okay. Yep, there it is. Okay, so what we need to do is just, I'm just going to give it admin real quick. I think you just needed permissions to the secrets, but I mean, I could do that. Why not? Yeah, we don't want to. You really shouldn't be doing admin. So let's just give it permissions only for secrets. Time. Oh, what am I doing? No, I think I've hashed it. Okay, So I just gave it permission. So we'll try rerunning this real quick. I just want to see what's up. Pipelines. Change release. Just want to see if everything's Gucci. Gits, guys. Still in progress. I've got faith in this one though, because we saw it building. Yeah, it's going significantly longer. So I'm going to go ahead and also open up ECS, which is Elastic Container Services, which is a way to run Docker images in the cloud without Kubernetes or something. Way to just not provision, but can't think of the word. Where are we going? I think I meant orchestrate. I'm getting tired. So we're going to go to ECS over here. Yeah, I want the point of these videos to be just like, basically, I know a lot of people just want real world experience, without having the job yet. And I mean, I know working on these tutorials, building calculators and all that stuff, or building a personal website, all that stuff's going to help you. But nothing's more beneficial than working on open source and working with other developers, getting code reviewed, making pull requests. Like nothing's more real than that, because that's all going to be learning of its own once you get a job. And other guys are going to be ahead of you if you are lacking on some of those tools and stuff. So if you see here, we have our cluster, which I don't know if it's, nothing's provisioned. It's not running anything yet, but it did create our cluster. So as soon as this finishes, we should be able to build task on this cluster like very seamlessly. Cool, it succeeded. Let's do it. All right, let's try to rerun this. And actually, before I do that, I want to open up that WordPress website just so I can show y'all. I have the IP right here. I don't know what I'm doing. So I was just SSH'd into it. Oh, it's not in documents, sorry. Cool. And that's going to be my IPv6 address. Cool. As you see here, this is my WordPress blog that we're going to load test on. It's just it's running on EC2 micro EC2. It's the lowest. It's free tier EC2 instance. So we're also going to run HTOP on this side, but dang, that's kind of doing bad. Yeah, WordPress is high on memory side, but yeah, I don't think it's going to take much to break this thing. So we'll find out. We'll also monitor it on the EC2 end and get the CloudWatch logs. Pushing it. Man, bad Wi-Fi. Sorry. What the heck? Oh. Please sign up. Yeah, I just made this today. I don't know. It should be good. They probably want more money. Dude, I'm freaking sorry. Okay. Easy to. I'm trying to get the CloudWatch logs, so just because that's what you're gonna be like when you're load. I actually don't have too much experience load testing, but you're going to want to pay close attention to seeing how the performance behaves, because I mean, if you're load testing, then you're probably doing something like auto scaling or some type of horizontal scaling. You're probably not just throwing more CPUs at it. So here is cool. Now I can go over here to monitoring and get my CloudWatch logs and metrics. Okay, cool. So let's start this test again and see what happens. It should not fail. Also go to ECEs. Yes. Yeah. All right. Cool. As you see, it's looking like a WordPress site. Cool. So we got 4 pending tasks here now. That means it's freaking working. Dude, this thing's so cool. Like, seriously, we went through $100 in 2 days using BlazeMeter. So this is saving me so much money. It's open source. Gotta pay him back in the next vid with some cool appreciated. As soon as this first task finishes, though, I am gonna get out of here because it's been a 30-minute video, and I'll be more efficient in the future with writing a script or whatever, because I know I was doing a lot of filibusters and stuff. So let's go back to HTOP and see how let's see if it's running. Let's actually tail out the logs and see what's up. Log, Nginx access log. Cool. It doesn't look like it's working yet, so it's probably still putting up these not servers, containers. Yeah, that's what you should know about Fargate. It's not virtual machines like usually you would put up in like DigitalOcean or EC2. They're not virtual machines. They're actually just serverless containers. So there's no provisioning of servers. So that's one thing I like about Fargate. It's a little more pricey, but cool. It says it's active, still pending. So if you want to see what the status is of these tasks are that are running the tourist Docker image, you can just go into here and say view in CloudWatch, and they should be outputting their logs, and we can see like where they're at. It's probably just I'm pretty sure it's just a Linux server running like a Python framework, but we'll find out more later. See where they're at. Maybe it finished. Yeah, there's a lot. That's why there's so much. That's why you're gonna get way more comfortable with the AWS CLI, because it's a lot more you can do. Cool. So that is running the task now. So let's just see. It doesn't really matter. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's just go. It doesn't matter what it's outputting because it's working. So let's go ahead and go back to HTOP and see. Still not getting any access. So it's still not hitting us yet. So refresh it. Still running. Maybe we can add that as a feature, like better updating, or on the front end, maybe like a status of like what's going on the back end. I'd be interested in like seeing what the containers are outputting, or like where I'm at least, like a progress bar, because in the blank a little bit, because this is just using lambdas, because a lambda I think is checking continually for like every minute to see like what the statuses of these tasks are. Let's see, maybe I shouldn't have closed it. Okay, cool. I'm almost have my five tasks up like we specified. Task count right here is this 5, so that's almost 5 there. So I think once all of them are up, maybe. Yes, yeah, still not getting any access. I must have paused that screen on accident, but okay. Yeah, so basically I'm going to basically just let it pause up until it finishes, just because I'm already at almost like 30 minutes here. But yeah, it is working. We just confirmed, and it's freaking killing this WordPress instance. It says it's at 100% right now. I mean, if you're curious, yeah, I'll just pop that back open. Get the instance real quick. I forgot what the IP was though. gonna get the IP of this WordPress. Yeah, I forgot it. Cool. So yeah, just get the IP. I'm gonna pop it up in here, and we'll see if it's accessible. It looks like it's almost crashing, but I mean it's still responding somewhat well. So a little. I mean, now it's starting to lag out a little bit more, but. Let's go to HTOP again. Now it's going a little slower. Still not dead though. Like, I mean, I'm not super surprised, but yeah, it's only through. There's only like, I don't know, less than 100 virtual users. I forgot what I specified here, but there's not much coming at it. So yeah, but once it finishes, I'll unpause the video just so I'll show you what the aftermath looks like. But it's pretty cool. It's a very similar output that you'd get to that Blaze Meter would give you, or like the paid version of K6 would give you, or self-implemented Grafana dashboard. But yeah, it's super cool. And like I said, this is all I did was copy and paste the CloudFormation script so far. It's super easy stuff. So yep, I'll be right back. Oh shoot! It just unpaused as soon as it almost finished. So cool. It just complete. So what I wanted to show you first, we'll go. This is the instance that WordPress is running on. As you can see, it's pretty predictable so far. So we ran 5 tasks, each I think running 5 virtual users. So that's 25 virtual users total. So you can see it did hike up to about 60%. Running on a WordPress installation with like it's relatively stateless at the moment. I mean, it's a CMS with no plugins installed. So yeah, that's not very good. So we definitely want to up the CPU in that situation, and probably the memory as well. So do a little vertical scaling, and then do your horizontal scaling. But so that's it on the EC2 end. I'm gonna close that out. So this was the cloud watch log for basically all those instances running. As you can see, it says 5 virtual users, 0% failures. That's just an output. We can also get all these logs from later as well. So, and lastly, just wanted to show you the cool output, and you basically kind of just compare these to like what CloudWatch outputted, and you want to look for any abnormalities and like see if anything's spiking, especially when you throw more. Like we did a super like baseline test right there, testing 25 users. You'd want to like spike it up, give it a consistent amount of high users, and it's just see how it behaves. But yep, average response time, which is actually pretty good. Average latency, so these are all pretty good. As you can see, average response time did hike as we got up to more users. So yep, that's all I have this time, everyone. But next video, and probably have 2 or 3 more videos, we'll be making contributions to this repo right here. So we'll definitely start looking more into it and making more configurations for AWS. But I'll see y'all next time.